Welcome back to the Loveland Report and Loan Arranger Show. We've been talking about interest rates. We've been talking about how 26 is hopefully going to scrape out a better year than 2025.
I'm having a better year.
Bonds are getting better, Bruce said, so interest rates are getting better. Call him if you need help. But I want to dig into some listings real quick, Bruce. I got some really nice ones here. Got a builder's own home. You know what happens with the builder's own home? Gets every upgrade imaginable. So this is in Oviedo, where I grew up. This house is 3,800 square feet.
Big house.
$925,000, built in 06, but very modern, very open, a great room plan. You walk into there's like a big 8x12 island in the kitchen, beautiful cabinetry, travertine floors on the first floor, bamboo wood floors on the second. Got a bedroom downstairs, got a huge master upstairs. Nice thing about this, side entry, 3-car garage, but also an in-law apartment, Bruce. You could put in a kitchenette. It's got an exterior entrance. If you got an outlaw, you just lock the wings are connected. The house, it's just one house under one roof, but you don't like if it is an outlaw, you can deadbolt that door, not let them walk through to your side, and just keep them locked on that side. Throw some food to them through the back door, but
the doggy door.
In-law apartment, 5 bedrooms, 4.5 baths, plus a bonus room. $925,000 in Oviedo, and Oviedo is just blowing up. It's one of the fastest growing cities in Central Florida.
We can do a jumbo loan on that one, or we can do a conventional loan, just keeping the loan under $850. If you got the money to put down, call me and I can get you pre-qualified to buy that house.
All right. And I got $526,000 for this 4-bedroom, 3-bath pool home, 2,700 square feet. And this is in the Palisades in Claremont. In this neighborhood, the homes with 2,000 square feet in a pool are selling for $500. This one's at $526 with fresh flooring. It's got tile and laminate floors. It's got stainless steel appliances. And then we go to the Hamptons in Metro West. This house, I love this. At 407-352-8118.
Yeah, or if you want to get pre-qualified or pre-approved to buy one of those homes, you just call the Loan Arranger at 407-250-9144. Why me over your bank, your credit union? Why me over Rocket or anyone else? I'll tell you why. I've been in the mortgage business for 35 years. I'm one of the top producers in the entire country. Reason why is because my rates and terms and service are unmatched in the industry. I will tell you, if you don't think you're having a white glove service experience with my team, you call me personally on my cell phone. I will guarantee you will have a white glove service. Why? Because that's what I would want if I was getting a mortgage. You say you get what you pay for, and you truly do. But that doesn't mean you have to pay more. It means that you get what you pay for. And I see these people shopping the internet, and they'll call me and go, I got this guy on the internet that quoted me a 1/4 point lower rate than you. You don't know anything about them.
He's in the cubicle next to the Nigerian prince that wants to give you $5 million.
And yet you're going on the internet and giving your social, your date of birth, how long you worked at your your employer, where you've lived. They know everything about you. Pick somebody that's got a 5-star rating, folks. Look at my Google reviews. Look at my Yelp reviews. Look at Zillow reviews. They're literally 4.9 and 5 stars. Now, I don't know what happened to that half a star that I lost somewhere, but anything could happen. Who knows? But I will tell you this much. Reviews are important. You should be careful of your reviews. And I think you should be honest about them too. I've seen people, and it hasn't happened to me, but I've seen it happen to other people, where somebody didn't like something that the lender had asked for or denied their loan for a legitimate reason, and yet they got a bad review. That's not fair to people. And those things can happen. Fortunately, my reviews are fantastic. I'm here to help you. If you want to buy as a first-time home buyer, a move-up buyer, you want to invest in real estate, Cleve and I are active investors in the market. When I say active investors, we are literally investing in real estate in the market. And you may say, why? Because real estate's flat right now. That's why. That's your signal. Do you want to wait till they go up? Why don't we wait? Why don't we wait till we're having a
Well,
surge and and appreciation is going up?
definitely
5
a
to
no-brainer if
15%?
you're a renter. Definitely a no-brainer there. Doing the next one, it's usually 6 of one, half dozen of another. I had a seller that I know of. I told them 2 years ago the house was worth 900. They listed it for 1.3 with another realtor. I would not take it.
Okay.
Guess what just sold for 900?
Their house.
24 months later. And so I in my head I did the math. There was no note on the house. It was owned free and clear. But let's say there was
$20,000
$20,000.
costs.
There's 30,000, at least $30,000 in carrying costs, taxes, and homeowners dues, and then the lost opportunity of just having $900,000
maintenance
in
everything,
and then that money, the proceeds from the home, that 800 and something $1,000 in the market, making 5, 6, 7%
they
over
missed
2 years.
out on those.
They lost over
opportunities.
$100,000, and
Well,
that's why
a year later, or how many
2
years?
years.
2 years later.
Yeah. So
I can tell you a $900,000 house probably has an $8,000 a year
Yep.
tax bill just alone.
But time is money. And I think the important thing, Bruce, is for people to make a plan. Call me and I will help you with that. If you're selling the big house, downsizing, you want to go to the big house. You definitely want the 4-car garage and the man cave out back for your car collection. You want the room for doing your needlepoint or whatever you're doing, scrapbooking,
Love needlepoint.
all of those things. So if you, whatever you want to do, the kids are going away to college. Should you make the house smaller? You want to be on a golf course. You want to be on a lake. I help people with that all the time, Bruce.
I know you do. We all do. And you know what? You do it because you care and you find what motivates the client. And whether it's needlepoint, I do needlepoint. It's called my GLP-1s. All right. Those are my needle points that I'm jabbing into my belly, but it's worked for me and I've lost 77 pounds. Okay. So needlepoint is good. All right. So we'll get back on track, folks. Sometimes we get a little crazy here. I want to talk a little bit about what's happening in the market. We know that ever since we started dropping bombs, that oil got cut off and interest rates went back up. We were just teeter-tottering on the high fives for just a little bit. I'm talking 1 to 3 days we were down that low. And then, of course, it was on that Saturday, I think it was the 27th of February, started dropping bombs. Interest rates just got worse and worse. Now, this week has been much better. I think that there's a lot of hope on Wall Street, but what we have to do is actually get the problem solved. We have to stop talking about it and fix the doggone problem. And you cannot reason with terrorists. They're lying to us. Everything that comes out of their mouths is a lie. Don't believe they'll ever stick to any kind of agreement. So we're going to have things in place that are going to lock them down. But I don't understand why our cohorts in these other nations aren't jumping in to help, because they're getting hit by this oil crisis worse than we are. They're paying $7, $8 a gallon for fuel in some cases. Why don't we just work together and get it fixed? I don't know. I'm not the president, but I think that's what needs to be worked on. Here's the thing. Interest rates are improving. We should be somewhere around the 6.25 to 6.5. Last week, we're around 6.5 to 6.75. And you don't hear that on the news.
No.
But you know what? My applications were still coming in right and left. I had no one backing down. I did have a few people go, oh, geez, they're going up. Yes, they are. This is not what I call a floating bias. Although right now, if you called me to lock your rate in, I'd look at the market and say, let's float it a couple more days, but it's called cautiously floating.
And what could we do if we told the seller we had to have 3% in closing costs and that $15,000, we use it to do some discount points? What would that bring the rate down to?
Way down. It depends on where you started, because different rates, different people are at different credit scores.
But could bring 6.5 down to 6 1/8.
It could bring it down to 5.99, depending on how many points you pay. And that's why I structure it this way, because if we can get the seller to pick up the closing costs for you, is better than reducing the price of the home by the same amount. You follow me? So if you were going to say, I got a $400,000 house, but I'm willing to pay $385 for it, pay the guy $400 and get 15 grand in closing costs. It's a better deal for you. You're financing the extra $15,000 over 30 years. It's not making that much of a difference in your payment. Yet $15,000 out of pocket could literally pay all your closing costs, Or if it doesn't cover all your closing costs, you could use the bulk of that to buy your rate down so you don't have to refinance in the future. So there's all kinds of things that we do to
What's your
help
phone
you
number,
with
Bruce?
that.
We need to give out numbers.
407-250-9144. Write that number down, please. The loan arranger at Cross Country Mortgage, Bruce Woodburn, 407-250-9144, or go to WeBringYouHome.com. Let me help you structure a loan that's going to work best for you.
All
Your
right.
friends, family, coworkers, I'll take care of them all.
Cleve Loveland, you need help with real estate, 407-352-8118. I had 3 people listen to the show last week. Call me on Saturday, got out to see them this week, got them handled, got one I told you I turned into property management, should have never been on the market to sell.
Very good.
One, I gave him a great plan on what to do when his son leaves for college next year, on what to do to the house. He's got about probably $20,000-$30,000 in renovations. He thought he had $100,000 to do because he's in kind of a nicer home. I was like, no, save that for the next house. Keep that in your portfolio. Went over that with him. So I help people all the time doing that. The next thing I want to talk to people about, Bruce, I had somebody asking me this all the time, and sellers that wonder this all the time. When do you adjust the price if you're not selling? Now, most homes now, they're playing with stats saying that 99% of all homes are getting their prices cut after X days, and they're on the market for, we're averaging about 70 days to sell right now. I'm averaging about 45. But when you adjust the time to adjust the price, here's what I see. You get, first of all, great question for a realtor. If somebody says they're a realtor and they want your business, say, what's market absorption? Explain that to me. If their eyes glaze over.
Absorption.
Okay. So market absorption, $700,000 house, 4-bedroom. Should I adjust
You know
it?
what they do? They guess.
And-
Why don't we just come back and we'll do this?
And you know where I see this, and it just cuts me to the core, Bruce. I'll see this on a house that was listed for $729, sold for $660. Why on earth and let's say there was nothing dramatically wrong with the house. That's a realtor desperate for a paycheck. And they should have cut their list price to $699, let's say, and countered to an offer they had at $695, $690. Every couple, when I adjust a home, Bruce, when I change the market position on a house, my phone goes off. The realtors all get pinged out there. The public gets a ping off their realtor.com account, and everybody gets notified almost like it's a new listing, but you kind of adjusted what's out there. And the market we're in now, depending on where you're at, what I see is you can have, if it's bad, you can have 7 homes for $699.9, and you need a list for $698.9 or $695.9. So you got to watch all these things. So that's what comes with 30 years of expertise that I can help you with if you need help selling a house and when you're buying one too. How do you make that offer look?
Yep.
If the house has been sitting for 90 days with no price adjustment, that gives you an idea of what your offer should be like.
Yep. And when you're making an offer on a house like that, what you want to do is make sure you're positioning yourself to be able to be the winning offer. So one of the things, and Cleve talks about this on the show all the time, is my fast track loan approval. So let's just understand a little bit about what that is. Most people that are out making offers on houses have either a pre-qualification letter, which isn't worth the paper it's written on. You had a conversation with the lender and they may have reviewed your credit. A pre-approval, which means you've sent them all the necessary documents that lender needs. But most of the time, these banks and mortgage companies don't ask for all the information. So what we've got to do now is determine what is necessary to position you like a cash buyer. When we come back from the next break, we're going to talk about how to position you as a cash buyer. 407-250-9144 or WeBringYouHome.com.